Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ELKR Rotary Club, the best Rotary Club in the universe. And we are here today in a beautiful, I'm not sure what kind of weather we'd call this. I'm calling it winter, but it's dark. It's okay. It's all good. I say this as if some of you know that I have a problem with this sort of dreary, murky weather. I would just rather it snow and be bright and sunny the next day, or stop and just be bright and clear and freezing cold. I'll take the freezing cold over this crappy 32 degree stuff any day. This is true. Did any of that come across as a complaint? That was not a complaint. It was close. It was close. All right, excellent. Well, welcome everyone here today. Candy Yoder, could you please come up and give us some thoughtful words for the day?
Good morning. Since 1986, Americans have observed an annual holiday in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Occurring on the third Monday of January each year, it falls on or near his birthday, January 15th. It honors the civil rights leaders' nonviolent activism and inspirational rhetoric in protesting and changing racial discrimination in the U.S. I've chosen to read from a prayer given by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at a conference in 1957, the year before I was born. This prayer is as timely and to the point now as it was then. God grant that right here in America and all over this world, we will choose the high way, a way in which men will live together as brothers, a way in which the nations of the world will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, a way in which every man will respect the dignity and worth of all human persons, a way in which every nation will allow justice to run down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream, a way in which men will do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. Join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now, of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Candy. Very true words today, just as they were. Okay, Jim Rickoff, would you come up and introduce our guest today, please?
Gladly. We have three guests today. They're all guests of Julie Cott. Julie?
Yes. Returning with us today, we have Jeff and Andre from Final Stage. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you. And our guest speaker, we will hear more about here very shortly.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks, Jim. And for those at home, just reiterating, Andrea and Jeff from Final Phase Electric, who are, I think we call them applicants at this point for corporate membership. And their application, along with Brian Dickerson, is being circulated among the committee. And that will then, assuming approval, no pressure though, will go back to the board for recommendation and approval at next month's board meeting. We're glad to have you again here today, and Nate will hear a little bit more about you shortly. Okay, call for announcements. If anyone has anything to share, please come up front. And just a couple of quick reminders. Next Monday, actually I'll jump ahead or not go too far ahead. This Thursday, the morning division, Thursday, they meet at 7 o'clock at the ELKR Health and Aquatics. They will be doing a service project. They're sort of focusing on those a little bit more as we go along. It's something easy to do, nice hands-on, and kind of is a little different from a presentation on a Thursday morning at 7 o'clock. Then on next Monday, we have Michelle Millard from EOS Worldwide, and January 31st. Another change for this January 31st, our 5th Monday. It's jumping around. Paul Cataldo had a change in plans, so we're going to be having a representative from Lexington House here in ELKR, the Executive Director, Francis DeSori, and he's going to be telling us a little more about Lexington House. For those of you online, and we're having more and more folks online, and we appreciate that you're here. Just a reminder, as we are doing our fines here in person, just remember that you can jump right in and press that donate button on the website and make your fines right online. It's super convenient, and you can just add, you know, it's funny money at that point, right? So just add it on, just put on a couple extra zeros. You don't have to have the bucks in hand. Just put it right in. It's a piece of cake. And I do want to announce we do have a resignation. Many of you know and appreciate Deborah Domine, and I wanted to read the letter that she sent to our club. This was in about a week ago. Dear Elkhart Rotary, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your organization. I respect the work you do and the commitment you represent to the community. Nonetheless, like the majority of the other appointed judicial officers I have served with over the past 21 years, she was asked to resign from her position middle of last year. She has resigned, and since that date, her husband and she have traveled in search of a new community to call home. She said, I am thrilled with the possibilities for relocation because for the first time since graduating from college, the search is not connected to a job. Since my resignation, it has been my intent to leave the community. I'm therefore officially resigning from Rotary. Best wishes to all the work that each of you do. I know we all wish Deborah the best as she moves on to this next phase, but I thought you'd appreciate hearing that kind of positive piece of that the first time that she's searching for something not job related. So Deborah, we will miss you, and thanks for all the service you've done in our community and beyond. All right, other announcements?
All right, just a reminder that this Thursday is Thirsty Thursday, so we will meet at Artisan at 5 o'clock. There's been some interest in maybe adding another location where Rotarians are kind of involved, and so we'll just have a little informal chat about that for whoever comes on Thursday. So hope to see you.
Just want to make a quick announcement about the Salvation Army bell ringing and the checks. I haven't gotten the official number, but I know that we are right around or beyond 16,000, which according to the Salvation Army was fantastic, especially given the weather and the conditions that day. So I want to thank everybody that rang bells in the 50-mile-per-hour gale force winds. To my defense, it was 65 at the beginning of the day, so I did deliver on that promise. But want to thank all of you that wrote checks, wrote in, rang bells, helped out in any way, shape, or form. They're obviously still taking them. I think they're taking them all the way through January before they finalize our numbers. So thanks.
Hi, everyone. For those of us in the social committee, or who would like to be in the social committee, we don't have a 5th Monday again until May. So we are going to meet January 31st before our lunch meeting. So 11:15 will probably be plenty of time if you want to join on January 31st and discuss options for potentially lengthening our Thirsty Thursday on St. Patty's Day and be a little festive with the Irish theme. So that'll be January 31st for the Social Club Committee at 11:15 here. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Okay. For those of you, I've gotten a pretty good response from the survey that I sent out, and I hope all of you will take it about as seriously as I did in sending it out. We want your feedback. We want to see how things are going. If you haven't, please find that in your email. Take a few minutes. And again, we're not grading for spelling and grammar, so please just throw some thoughts down there. We'd appreciate it. That way it'll help in terms of where we want to go and as a club, and also see what we can do. Are we changing as a club in terms of the size and the attendance? what's happening. We want it to be honest, and we want to make sure that we have your input in doing so. So thank you for doing that. Okay, before we go to the sergeant, Howard, is this a good time? I put you on the spot. We're going to do some Paul Harris Fellow recognition. I am happy to help you with that. If any other board member would like.
You can't help today, President.
I can't help today.
No.
Okay, so we need another board member.
We have another partner in crime that's going to help out. Good afternoon, Rotarians and those that Rotarians that are online. First of all, show of hands online or in person. If you help to meet our goal of $100 donated in the month of November, show your hand if you gave that. I want to say to everybody, congratulations, we did a good job. Still working on how we get the final count because you know it's a little slow when you're working with our foundation nationally and stuff. But anyway, we have a few Rotarians that we would like to recognize today. I need to come up front to receive their first Paul Harris Fellow, Miss Erin Wackler. Oh, she stepped out? Okay. We'll place her to the side. And we have another first, a board member and soon to be president, Mr. Todd Stone. Come on up. You're the contestant.
Here, look official. Excellent.
And I guess Aaron will be back in a few moments. And after receiving their first Paul Harris Fellow, now we move on to the recognition of Paul Harris Fellow +1, our current president, Mr. Eric Garden. Now you know why you couldn't help.
Awesome. Thank you.
Next, we have another board member and our treasurer, Mr. Jim Stork. Jim.
Here we go. Oh. Doing this right? There we go. Good.
And we have one more Paul Harris Fellow +1, Tom Shaw. Tom? Yes, here.
Better check for those others just to see if it's made it. Wondering if I didn't see Dean Lazenby and I didn't see him online. Is Dean here? Did I overlook Dean? Okay, sorry. It's if you've ever been up here, you kind of know sometimes you can literally look at everybody, past presidents and those who are up here a lot. You know, I'm not. Maybe it's just me, but I tend to look right at you and then I'll ask if Tom is here.
Okay, no Paul Harris +2 today, but we do have one Paul Harris Fellow +3. That is Mr. Amp. Come on up if you're here today.
I did.
Awesome. And this is really great when you continue to see the Paul Harris +3s, 4, 5, and 6s.
Yeah.
So next, we have another former president, Miss Candy Yoder, Paul Harris +4.
Pratt is coming back tomorrow. Pratt.
Awesome.
Pratt Curtis will be there tomorrow. We will.
And our final one for today, just remember this number,
you.
Mr. Tom Fletcher, Paul Harris +6.
For the next time I use you, okay? Thank you. Okay, Ruthie, okay? Oh,
Excellent.
Let's give another round of applause to all of our new Paul Harris. To say that we do have about 15 more pins to pass out, you know, during this time of COVID. Some are here, some are there, some are down in Florida. So we'll get it made up, but we will present again in 2 weeks to try to get to a few people who are not here today. Thank you.
Thanks, Howard. So here, next.
Oh, I think she's still here. We'll find her and get her photo in here. We'll get Erin when she comes back in the room. I have a feeling she might have stepped out for a phone call. Thanks, Howard. And I apologize, I haven't cross-checked the list with who's online. I'll do that shortly. And if anybody is here who's expecting one, speak up. We'll make sure we get you recognized. Actually, I do know at least Tina Weldy would be expecting a Paul Harris Fellowship, and I see you on here, Tina. So we'll get that to you as well. So congratulations to Tina. Thank you very much. Okay. Every time about now during the meeting, we invite up a very special person to try to extract some funds from our club members that help to go toward a donations committee that we give grants to for our fellow not-for-profits here in the community. So today, big round of applause, or at least an applause, for Mr. Peter Norton.
I mean, they are my people. We got the guitars. Okay, well, let's start with some basics. Congratulations to the Paul Harris Fellow folks. If you're sitting at a table with them, please put $1 in the basket. Will the board of directors and the officers please stand? I'm glad you're doing the survey. These are your leaders. If you have ideas, whisper in their ear. And if you're sitting at a table with one of them, please put $1 in the basket. All right. Well, of course, this is Martin Luther King Day, and so let's see how much you know. So let's go to my table, Dawn. To save the club $1, what year did Martin Luther King give his "I Have a Dream" speech? Oh, you nailed it. Look at you. All right, well, let's go to the next table. Candy, let's go to your table. Where did Martin Luther King give the "I Have a Dream" speech? Yeah, Washington, D.C., all right. Okay, well, we're not making a lot of money so far. I guess I better go a little more obscure. Heliac, let's go to your table. Somebody stand up. All right. At the "I Have a Dream" speech, which was in 1963 in Washington, D.C., how many people attended this rally? Roughly. Okay, multiple choice. 50,000, 100,000, 250,000. $250,000. So that's $1 for everybody in the club. I mean, that was a lot of people, you know, and bear in mind, this was pre-internet. All right, let's go to a completely different topic. We recently lost really an icon of true class and great talent in Betty White. And she had more TV successes than we can count. But the highlight of her career was playing Sue Ann Niven on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. So, Mandy, how old was Betty White? Do you remember the Mary Tyler Moore Show? There's plenty of gray hair at your table. How old was she when she was on that show? Good guess. She was actually 51. So that's $1 for everybody in the club. Scott, let's go to your table. Betty was famously married to Alan Ludden, the host of the game show Password. Alan passed away of stomach cancer, and Betty never remarried. What year did Alan Ludden pass away? Oh, you're close. It was 81, but it's still a miss, so that's $1 for everybody at the club. Julie, you probably know this. Late in her career, Betty earned an Emmy for appearing as a host on a TV show. What TV show earned her an Emmy late in her career?
Oh, is it Saturday Night Live? I hear it's
Yeah, well, that came from a different table, so that don't count. That's still $1 for everybody, but it was Saturday Night Live, and she was 88 years old when she earned that. So, finally, my people. I was going to ask a bunch of college basketball questions, but I thought, nah, I'm going to max you out before then. So, one group that gets left out when all the sports things questions happened up here are people that don't give a rat's behind about it. So if you don't care about college basketball and haven't watched it, please put $1 in the basket and have a good read.
Okay, we're going to do a little makeup here. We called out the name of Erin Wagner. She had to step out, so she's back up for her first Paul Harris. Erin.
Like you were never done. Just continuity. We'll fix it in editing.
right up there.
Right. It's like filming a live studio game show. We'll fix it in editing. Okay. All right. Excellent. Nice job, Peter. Good job getting the non-basketball fans. We're in that weird time of year. College football's done. College basketball is still not quite very exciting. Super Bowl's still a few weeks away. I don't know. It's kind of like the weather today, but I don't want to go back there. We don't want to go back to that. Okay. Our speaker today is going to be introduced by Julie Cotton.
Hello again, everyone. I'm super excited to invite Nate Overby to speak with our club today. I just found out about the organization when I was looking at options for where to have our social back in November. And what a lovely, happy accident. We have an amazing studio, Dodge Creative, and Nate Overby is 25. He's from ELKR, Indiana. He is the Chief Studio Engineer, CEO, and Creative Director of Dodge. Also known as Rocco Darrow. I hope you'll tell us more about that, unless it's Rocco Darrow. Milestones for him are that he's organized over 30 music and variety events in the 3 years under Dodge's, is that when you opened 3 years ago? You're gonna tell us more. But so in 3 years, 30 music events with this young man here. He's grown a network of over 400 active creatives. He's a music producer, audio engineer, inventor, and visionary. Other specifics, he grew up here in Elkhart. His mother's an artist, his father is in business. He's a musical artist with full bodies of work on all platforms. I can't wait to hear more about that. He's lived and worked in major cities, including Chicago, LA, New York, and as a content generator producer. Let's welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Nate Overby. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name's Nate Overby. That was a great introduction. I wrote part of it. So I'm here to tell you about Dodge. Things that I must say first. So Dodge fulfills its mission by continuously offering musical experiences, innovative collaboration, recordings, documentation, publishing, and original products. 3 days a week, Dodge HQ is open to reservation of studio sessions and collaboration. Creators perform and collaborate together with this mission to form the Dodge Network. The network designs and executes live events, strengthening the forward-thinking progress of our community. What our name means, it's just an order of letters that we give meaning to. We like to demonstrate our beliefs by creating environments that people can thrive in creatively. Creativity to us is solutions. So finding new ways to those solutions. We have outlets like music and art and technology. We think that we can impact our community and our economy with a new form of approaching problems and solutions. So Dodge was established on Main Street in ELKR, Indiana, February 2nd, 2018. And it began with an event in a loft on a checkerboard stage. The event was free, guests climbed up 4 flights of stairs, and there was a variety of talent. This continued to happen in phase with the moon, and we moved it around at various venues in Hobart. We invited people into kind of a new type of space, new creative space, and new experience, something that the youth our community hadn't seen yet. And that was the reaction to what we're doing. So we continue to offer these events. We have 3 core values. That's to create, inspire, and empower. Empowerment is at the top of our hierarchy. It's where we create something that people can use to their advantage and create themselves. So with our hierarchy, it looks like an inverted triangle. At the bottom, it says create, and that is the least challenging thing to do in the hierarchy, and it reaches the least amount of people. When you go upward, the inspiration tier reaches more people, but it's more challenging. Once you get to the top, it's the empowerment tier, and that's where we create something that empowers someone to create something else and restart the hierarchy. People that have done this, it's Apple with their computers, GoPro with their cameras. They gave people a tool to create. That's at the core of our company there. This is something I'm really passionate about, so I like to talk personally about it, and I'm normally excited. I'm trying to definitely explain what we do, because it's pretty elaborate. It all started in the studio where I had just returned from visiting these other cities and working as a content generator, and I realized the potential of the people here and learn more about our history and what was possible with our special abilities. So I opened the studio, and I realized the talent was raw, and it was real, and it was unprovoked. So the more artists that I met, the goal became to bring them into a common space, make them aware, create a collective consciousness of their abilities. Pretty much we have a lot of trained people, young adults, that have talent and abilities that aren't necessarily being utilized. So, and they don't know that it's a useful thing that they can do, like create a piece of art or music, or invent something, use their brain in a way where they're making something new. So once the creators of the studio became aware of each other, it was kind of like a spark. Everyone became aware of a community being created. So we made an event, and from then on we we continued to offer these musical experiences where the environment was one of the most important things. So that's one thing I want to share with everyone in their businesses, that an environment can really change the way people think and how they behave at work, how they create and collaborate with others. So we believe in beauty. We bring beauty into our space and our environment, and that's been a differential in our company. This is a zoom in of our studio. So currently we operate out of a 5,000 square foot space above Interior Motives. And it's a place where when you step in, you feel imaginative, you feel kind of special. This was important to encourage the young creatives in our community. And they're important. They're important to our economy, and they're important to our social our social community. So in sequence with the events, we've done 30 from when we started. So our output ratio is about 1.6 every 1.5 months we've offered an event. We reach our capacity these days at 100 at our space, and between our monthly events, the studio is open for collaborative sessions, and those are reserved by the creators of the Dodge Network. I have some content here to show you. Kind of displays our showcase. Here's a video on our website. You can find at dhapyramidshow.com. Currently, we have an event series called Showcase, and each month on the second Saturday we have a showcase with a variety lineup. So there's live music, there's comedy, there's dance. That means there's a variety of people coming into this space that we're curating. That was kind of demonstrated with our first event and something that we carried on. Having a variety lineup invited lots of different types of people into the space. It's a very unique experience, and it feels a lot like home when we have a large variety of talent and offerings at one event. Dodge does have a universal appeal. We aim to be an abundant company. Thank you, everyone, for welcoming me here to talk about this. I was nervous coming here a little bit. There's a lot to say, and this is probably one of my first times really talking to a large group, kind of in this manner. I had notes, but I just kind of, so, yeah, I'm open for questions now.
Question.
Yeah.
The youngest and the oldest. Could you repeat the question?
What's the youngest and oldest age? What's the age of most of our creators? So it's the average group is around 20. Yeah, and then our oldest group is around 30. Yeah.
So is it mostly an event studio, or are you also recording music as well?
So we're recording. Is it just an event studio, or is it also recording? It's a creative studio, full bandwidth of music, art, and other mixed medias. Focus is on music. So music studio sessions is where we focus our values on.
This gentleman that just when it comes to Peter Norton, he's a very talented member of our board. Past president. And walk us through, if you would, if Peter Norton decided this afternoon he would like to engage your facility, you as to further his career. Okay? Thanks. Walk us through what you would do with Peter Norton.
Okay, let me walk through what I would do if Peter came through the door. I put a smile on. And as a producer, I have a role of evoking that passion and that stream of consciousness I was talking about earlier, that creative mind. So I'd make sure he's comfortable, make sure he was happy, and that he was comfortable sharing his goals and objectives in the studio. Then as a producer, I have ways of accomplishing those. So I'd shed light on that, and then we would take it step by step. Yeah. So if we're recording a song, I give them ways to record that song. Yeah.
And my question is somewhat related to Sherman's question. If you found someone in any particular area that you thought really has a lot of talent, if you've been to Chicago, you've been in New York, you've been to LA, what would be your next step with them? I know you want to support them, but is there a way that you could have contact people that might provide some funds for that person to go that next step?
Yeah. So that, I would say, is part of our highest tier of empowerment. So after giving them the opportunity to, one, create in the studio, and then share that, being the middle tier inspiration. The top would be, basically in more basic terms, it would be kind of like, we would take on some of those roles, where if we have someone who's got amazing talent, passion, and drive, then take on those roles of a record label, which we have now. So I'll give an example. I have a good friend, his name is Nathan Van Meter, and he has a huge heart and a lot of talent, and he came to me with an album idea, and so for 5 months we recorded, wrote, and produced the album, and it was a great project. I love it, I'm proud of it. Once it was complete, we switched gears to publishing that work of art. We published it to all the platforms, and from there we turned into publicizing and management. So we have abilities to manage these artists too, trying to offer the full scope of support for this type of work. So it's a sequence. Once they get to that point where they want to reach the world with what they've created, we take on those roles in our company. Yeah. Does that answer your question pretty well? Is that my time?
Thanks a lot. Nate will hang around, I'm sure, if anyone has any further questions. And I just have to say, I kind of appreciate getting to know a company right there on Main Street that operates right above what'd you say it was? Interior Motives. You're right above Interior Motives. Do you make a lot of noise when you're out there? Yes. Yeah. And it seems to work out okay? They're very careful. All right. See, this is good stuff. How many people knew about Dodge? I saw 1, 2. Yeah, there you go. So, what's that? Stop the sharing. I'm kind of curious too. Anybody online heard of Dodge before? I see that as one of the sort of cool things about this club as well, that we're here on the, there are people here who this is new to them. It's new to me. And you make me realize sometimes I'm not as young as I think I sometimes am. But this is good.